good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Alpha Traders. So, what's on the docket today? Old Bitcoin, right? And yeah, Bitcoin at 48,350, 362 right now. Had a nice little pump on the 15-minute. Bitcoin is like a drunken sailor hanging out in Bangkok. He slept with three prostitutes last night and he's got VD, wakes up with VD. Got no idea what this thing's doing, right? But as a volatility, probability, and statistic trader, we got a good bead on what's happening right now. I'm looking at our at the weekly Bitcoin US dollar chart. This is the index, so I can get some nice history. Got a couple of pure Laplace distribution projections going on here. One from the 41K low, one from the 50% dump we had after the first 65K high. Then we had a little dip, bounced up to 60. Next thing we find ourselves, 29.5, whatever that price dropped to at that point. Really, even though we had this little pump, right? Maybe people are front running a little news they think are going to get tomorrow from the Fed. Now, who knows? They're going to taper. What the hell's going to go on? Doesn't really matter. It's all bullshit anyway. They're talking about the fake ass US dollar. Are you gonna leave the money machine printing? You're gonna turn the money printer off? Chances are they're not gonna turn that money printer off, because if they do, you know what's gonna happen to the stock market? It is gonna dump. I mean, it's gonna dump hard. People are gonna lose a fortune. Maybe that's what they want. They want another transfer of wealth, just like the COVID dump, right? Oh, good Lord. I'm looking at the weekly 95.4 to be honest. I know we had this nice little bounce, but this 48.5 region, we cannot get by here, or in my opinion, you've heard me talk, until we get above this 68.3 on this weekly projection, which is literally up here at the, is that the 68.3? Get this right first. Yeah, 60. It's above the weekly 68.3 Laplace distribution current candle range to the top side. That is at about, what's it at? 52,287. Let me just make sure. Yeah. And until we close some daily candles above this 68.3 projection right here, I'm going to say over 53K. I'm still going to stick to my guns. Say Bitcoin's going to range. Where do I think it's going to range in between? The mean of this projection from the 41K low, which right now is approximately about 44.5, and up here on the top side of the 68.3. Bitcoin, who knows? Maybe even into the first quarter of the new year. We could just be ranging in here. But who knows? We got 2 weeks left in the year. I don't put anything past Bitcoin, right? Don't put anything past Bitcoin. Bitcoin could jump in a 63 Chrysler Cordoba and just start running over homeless people in the streets. Who knows? This thing's insane right now. But it is down here. This whole weekly, right? If you just want to read price action, if you know how to read price action, this is a reaccumulation formation. I don't trade patterns, but I do read price action for overall high time frame, macro trend, right? And in my opinion, until we start closing some daily candles below the bottom side of this 68.3, which right now is about 40K, let's say 40.5 be exact. So let's say second standard deviation normal distributions at 43,515, or no, wait a minute. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that's second standard deviation, 43,515. We start closing some candles below here, or wait a minute, that's 40, wait a minute, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's a third standard deviation. Second standard deviation is right below the mean. We can have that. We could have a 2SD move. If you see this weekly, though, we start closing candles below here, or maybe even this week, we get down here and hit this 3SD on the weekly, and it does not bounce from there, and we stay closing daily candles below the 68.3, we could very easily be seeing a 30K Bitcoin. Wouldn't shock me at all to come down here, maybe even make a run to this 95.4. That's some real low numbers down there, right? But as a volatility trader, we really don't care. We just want to get an idea what's going on the macro trend, and we make our plays from there. For sure, 100%. Now, love, we got a couple great comments on our last video from a gentleman. I don't know exactly who it is, but pointing out how volatile he's like. He loves the way Volatility moves just really show what price action's doing. It's like, yeah, no brainer. Of course it does. That's why we do this. That is why we do this. And that's why we provide this to the public on YouTube, right? Because it's an incredible way to trade. We're not going to be like all these other YouTubers out there, right? Because why are all these people getting all these views? Because they just want signals. They don't want to learn how to trade. This is what we're all about. We don't give signals, and we always talk about probabilities to the top side, probabilities to the downside. We are never going to tell you this is exactly where Bitcoin's going. Is what I will do though is I will give you levels, and that's what I've done in the past. I'll give you the 68.3 price, right, by the end of the year, the 95.4, the 99.7 from these different projections. But at the same time, they're to both sides. Bitcoin can do anything in here, right? There's a 95.4% chance by the end of the year, Bitcoin closes in this massive range. What good does that do the regular YouTuber out there? None at all. They could care less. They want to know exactly what Bitcoin's going to do right now. Should I long? Should I short? Tell me what to do. YouTube Jimmy. That's not who alpha trading is. We're going to talk about volatility, probability, and statistics, and we are going to give you those probabilities of both sides. That's all we care about. And most of us trade low time frames. As a volatility trader, you're an intraday trader trading low time frame volatility. That's where all the profit is. That's where the high frequency trading firm algorithms are trading. So why not learn to trade the way they're programming? This is how they're programming these algorithms. Why not understand? Why not be able to read a set of indicators like we have here that are going to tell you what these algos are thinking, what these algos are doing? They're the ones that are pushing this market around. That's what's creating this drunken sailor that we all lovingly call Bitcoin. So we just, the sooner people realize what's really going on in these markets, they will stop losing money. They'll start being patient, right? They'll start getting good entries. They'll start getting good exits. They will no longer be emotionally attached to trades. I don't care what anybody says out there. Trading psychology in general is a load of BS. It's great for getting likes and views on YouTube, shit like that. People eat it up, right? No doubt about it. But there's only one principle of psychology when it comes to trading. Do not be emotionally attached to your trade. That's all you have to do. If you're not emotionally attached to your trade, that allows you to take profit, right? It allows you to limit your loss because all you're doing is reading the volatility charts. You're doing exactly what they're telling you to do. You're taking your profit when you're supposed to, and you're getting good entries. Period. The end. So let's see here. Let's go to the VRE real quick. There we go. So what did Bitcoin do today? You know what? Where could we start this projection? From the low, start on the 15-minute low. Let me get a little measurement. See where this is back. Let's see where this move we just had went to. Yeah, we'll start on this nice big candle. Even though we had that second down candle, that's okay. Because it was a bearish reversal candle, to be honest. And Bitcoin was like, nope, not having it. So you might as well throw that into that candle. Was like that was a bullish candle that was just a little confused. Kind of like we have these people confused about gender these days, right? You're a boy or you're a girl. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Let's see here, 63. Oh no, I hope I don't get canceled. What would I ever do? Let's see here. Yeah, nice. So Bitcoin runs up to the 95.4 on this move, comes back down, messing around with this 4-hour candle, 68.3 Laplace. Didn't really get all the way to it. Bitcoin kind of front ran it right there. Had a little stutter step at the 68.3 on the daily. That is the white cross line. Pulled back, hit the weekly S1. That is this green dotted line. Launched up from there. Where did Bitcoin find a little resistance after the low of today? Candle close wise, the other one was pretty close, but this was the low of the day. Candle close wise, it ran up. Not only was it bumping up against this 95.4 Laplace distribution projection, but it also hit the top side of the daily volatility range. From red line to red line, yellow line in the middle. This is the daily volatility range. And what was right above the daily volatility range? The 1SD. A lot of resistance right here. Bitcoin's above it right now. That's a good sign for Bitcoin. We'll see though. We'll see if these sellers come in. But I have a feeling, in these financial markets, if I don't care if it's crypto or the S&P or whatever, you get a little insider information. I don't care what anybody says, and maybe some of the big players are hearing something, right? Something favorable for the markets. Like, don't worry, we're not going to turn off the fake printer, the money printing machine. Don't worry about that. We're going to keep that baby cranking. So that's going to be good for the markets, obviously. So Bitcoin rejects off the 1SD and the top side of the daily volatility range and the 95.4% projection, right, from the low candle of the day, then works its way down to where? Comes right back to the mean of that projection, bounces right on it, goes by this 4 hour 68.3 and bounces right on the mean of the projection, launches from there, shoots a couple nice candles right through the daily volatility range. Now it looks like it's trying to find some support up here. It's on top of the daily volatility range and it's the top of the 1SD. Obviously, we have a couple, about an hour and 40 minutes left in today's candle. So, excuse me. We'll see how this plays out. I need some water. Hold on. Good stuff. Holy shit. Is that I'm looking at these prices. Holy crap. Yeah. Is that coming from Trust Wallet?
That
What's
was
Bitcoin?
yeah,
What's Bit?
that was a coin market cap a bug temporarily in the cash. They cleared it.
What's that say Bitcoin's worth? 700.
778 million. Like ETH was like, I don't know, a couple hundred million also. Like all the prices were whack for a few minutes.
Dude, isn't that's $778 billion
Million.
Bitcoin?
Yeah, 778. Oh yeah, 778 billion. Yeah. It's like they put the whole market cap for the price or something. I don't know, something crazy, whatever they did. They screwed up.
This is a
Okay,
picture of
guys,
the
I'm out.
future.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. You're never
Yeah.
gonna hear from me again.
There's like
That's
half
the
the
price of
market cap or
Bitcoin.
something. Yeah.
The
It was good knowing
metaverse just
everybody.
turned into the megaverse.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Wow,
Yeah,
crazy
imagine that.
prices. That's
That'd be insane.
insane.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, when I fired up CoinMarketCap to look at a price, I was just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
If this is
Everything was
real,
very green.
woo, I got to get the pancake swap real fast and see how
Yeah.
fast I can sell this shit coin.
Yeah. Everything was up like millions of percentages. It was crazy.
Yep. So there was a little daily read on the VRE, give you a little play by play here to show you exactly what was going on. And right now in this last 4 hour candle, yeah, that's something interesting. Where do we open? Right here. Okay, 1SD, 2SD, 3SD. The 4 hour 3SD is right here at the 95.4 projection. So I would imagine by the end of the day, we're not going to see over a 49K Bitcoin. It'll probably reject there, to be honest. Now, this is what we need to get by. To even think about 53K, we have got to get by this weekly range, right? What is it, Tuesday? We got plenty of time to do it. There's going to be a lot of resistance here because who's got the ball in their court? The Bears do right now, right? The Bears do. The Bear algos are running the game right now. But obviously, they've been pushing this price down for a while, so they're exhausted. So the Bulls, we're having this nice little pump up here. I wouldn't be a bit surprised, especially first run, to get a massive rejection from this weekly range. And to be honest, I'm going to go back over here. I'm really looking for this weekly 95.4 Laplace distribution range on the weekly candle, the current candle, not the projection. But as what's fascinating is the mean. The mean from the beginning of this projection is this white dotted line. The 95.4 Laplace is right on it, right? And we're talking about $44,000 Bitcoin, 44K. That would just be, if you see Bitcoin go to 44K, look for a nice bounce from there, I would imagine. But like I said, nobody knows what's going on with Bitcoin. We can only play these distribution levels. So I'm not telling you just to throw in some random long at 44K, or even if Bitcoin's going to 44K. I'm telling you that the mean of this projection and the 95.4 Laplace distribution range are right on top of each other. And the second standard deviation normal distribution is right below it at 43.5. right? And then I talked about the third standard deviation at about 40K, 40.3K. We definitely don't want to see Bitcoin down here. Like I said, start closing daily candles below this 68.3 projection range. Don't want to see it. Not good. Bitcoin could free fall. Where could it free fall too? I'm telling you, we could easily see a 30K Bitcoin. We could easily come down here and test this 95.4. We're talking mid 20s. So you think that'll wreck some of these longs that just won't get out of their position? Just on Bitfinex, there's still 31,833 Bitcoins long. There's only 1,300 shorted. Is there a little bit of an imbalance there? Massive one. I'm still looking for this thing to really get shook up. It hasn't yet, right? We're getting that the bulls are giving everybody a little bit of hopium with this pump right here, but we've seen it too many times. We've seen it way too many times. So all we can do is get over onto our main trading chart and just pay attention. Pay attention to the divergence on low time frames between returns and price action. And know what's going on with the variance, right? Look at this move we just had. We had an outlier to the upside. Then variance starts coming down, negatively correlated, and it walked the rest of the way up to the top. So we had the outlier positively correlated, started Bitcoin's move from about a little under 47, got up to throughout the outlier. What candle? It was this one right here. We got up to about went up about almost $900 and then walked up the other about literally about another $800 just with the variance coming down negatively correlated. Now it shifted positive, kind of halted everything, right? Kind of halted everything. And now, if you were looking on a weekly chart and you're trying to figure out what kind of formation we're looking at, if you know how to read price action, you know exactly what you're looking at. But these things break all the time, every which way but loose. So all you could do is look at the volatility. What's going on with the volatility? Is there divergence? Is there any bear div? No, absolutely not right now. There is no bear div at all. Let's see, where was that at? Yeah, I'll take that back. I mean, a little hidden bear, but considering that we have not created another high down here yet, there is none. But these fishers, man, they're up here. They both almost broke up to the third standard deviation level on this specific indicator. We did start building a little, yeah. We started building some bear div on the DLP right here, as you can see. And the trend, we trended on the 15-minute, that whole move like I talk about. All this is random, right? You see these, when you see this entropy turn blue, these little spots, just look at price action, right? These candles, excuse me, are color coordinated with the entropy, right? We had a little trend to the downside. Random. We go into trend for that little pump. A random dump, a random little bit of price action upside, then a little bit of trend to finish off this move. Little trend down in here. This whole move right here was all trend. It's coming out of trend right now. You can see the entropy indicator. It got outside these standard error bands. When you see that happen, just be prepared. No, entropy's at some point. We're going to pull back inside these bands, and it's doing it right now. So let's see here. The correlation is decreasing as well. You can see the color change going into a dark blue instead of that bright blue. All right. Dun, dun, dun. And also, see, this is beautiful. When this move started, right? I mean, look, so we get a low in the volatility right here on the low length, right? You can see the purple candles down here. Right when it goes positively correlated down here, we get this expansion, starts to move. The Z-score, historical volatility, pumps right there, significantly positively correlated. And as soon as, boop, as soon as that Z-score stops and starts heading down to the downside right there, it goes negatively correlated. What happens? That's where the rest of that moves. So this started to move up. Z-score of historical volatility rising, positively correlated. When the Z-score started heading back down, it went negatively correlated. Finished the price action walk up. Boop, 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 boop. That's how all these volatility tools work. Doesn't matter what kind of volatility tool it is, they all react the same way, right? Depending on whether you're having expansion or contraction in the breaks in correlation. Is it positively correlated or is it negatively correlated? All right. I wouldn't be a bit surprised right here going into the day, right? It's turning up right now. On the 15-minute, the variance is turning back up, positively correlated right now, right? But you can see the candle is coming down. So when does this baby close? What time is it? 3 minutes. Wouldn't be a bit surprised if this candle continues down right here in the next 3 minutes of this 15-minute candle. You're probably going to see this go negatively correlated. Who knows? We could have another outlier. We could give away this whole move right back down to the downside. But this gives us good targets. And at some point here, to all of our pro trader members of the Discord, you will be getting these deviation bands. We got all kinds of fun stuff in store for you. Trust me, these guys never stop. Every day, it's like I can't even get my charts set. There's always something new. I've got all kinds of tester charts of all kinds of indicators. My mind is mush. So I got to say at this point, I'm trying to figure everything out. These bands spray out like this, they give you great targets. Right? They give you great targets. And the one SD band is right back down at about 47K. That would just erase the whole move we just had going into the end of the day. Now, here's the thing though. If you go back over on the VRE, we got above this level, the top of the daily volatility range. But the bottom of the daily volatility range is right down there by that first standard deviation band on the 15-minute as they sprayed out. It's about 47.1. So right, we use these levels. When you get above something like this, it's good and strong. But like I said, it's like Bitcoin's doing donuts in the parking lot in a freaking 72 Chrysler Cordoba. I mean, who knows what the hell this thing's gonna do? It's in a fucking 5-ton car. So it could definitely drop through this area, especially the way Bitcoin's been behaving. And this is what happens in these reaccumulation formations on higher time frames. They are just shaking people. They're knocking people's teeth out. Anybody that's out there trying to trade this intraday, you're out of your freaking mind if you are not using volatility, probability, and statistics. There's people out there literally trading and they don't know shit about volatility. I don't understand how you can even do it. I really don't. It makes zero sense, especially after you've been doing this. I mean, it's working. It's probably 3 years and 4 months now, if I do my math correctly, that I've been trading volatility. And once you've done it that long, everything is just so foreign anymore. I mean, it's incredible. You see people trading the way they are, and it's just like I can't even comprehend how they're doing it. Right. And some of the there's so many YouTube Jimmies out there. It is ridiculous. Most people, I'm telling you, it's not like I don't watch videos. I want to see what these people are talking about. And most of them, especially there's a group of them that are gathered together, they're all like parroting the same shit that one specific guy's talking about. That's what's incredible. They have no clue what the fuck they're talking about. There's one guy that actually does. He's definitely shifted his trading a lot. I like his style these days. He talks a lot about volatility. He's actually got volatility indicators. So kudos to him. And his stream the other day is just funny as shit. When I get to the crypto cabin, we're going to get a soundboard. We're going to make this shit real fun. Yes, we are. Let's see here. Okay, Bitcoin, what you gonna do? First thing I want to do is I'm going to get up here on the 4-hour because there was some hidden bear building on the 4-hour between returns and price action. Boy, it just shifted gears bigger than shit though, didn't it? Yes, it did. Especially, I mean, two points, right? You had this high on the returns oscillator, this lower high, and then this higher high up here, right? You've got this high in price action, lower high, lower high. So all it's done is created a bunch of hidden bear, and we got this 4-hour candle down, right? We got this 4-hour candle down, but this bad boy shifted, and it did not even create any div at all, right? Higher lows, higher lows. So yeah, this was just be careful. That's all I can say, and that's what I continue to tell people. Be careful, man. Trade the low time frame volatility. I mean, for God's sakes, if you're in our pro trader level of Discord and you have these indicators, use the variance, right? Use the variance. When the variance rises with an outlier, just look at the correlation, right? I'm using the part of the Wolf's Bane that is the variance because I like the correlation line on the outside, right? You can pull up a TCV and it's got the correlation below. It's a lot easier to learn. You actually see the Pearson, like right here below the AVR, right? That's why we did this. We want this to be more user friendly, right? Boy, does that look user friendly? This nice rat nest up here. Trust me, when you figure out what these lines are, it's the easiest damn indicator to read. It really is. Me and Yash are having fun in the other chat saying, how the hell do we expect people to read that? Trust me, you're not going to start with that. And you can turn all these options off, right? If I want to turn these APPs off and just use the regular APP, you can't. Where are you at? Boom. I can turn off 1 APP, 2 APP, 3 APP.
Yeah, there's
Boom.
the AVR, multiple.
And
AVR.
now you've got in the columns, that's the 636 AVR. And then we've got these two thicker lines with the black borders. Those are the 981 and the 2400. Now, once you understand this, obviously the one that slopes a lot slower, obviously, is the 2400. The 981 is the one dipping around a lot. All right, the 636. And the main thing I'm looking for stuff like this, right? Now, if the 2400 was buried too down here when the 636 was flashing, that's what I'm looking for. And I'm looking for alpha volatility gray down here too. Because the only thing this can do right now is either go sideways, totally contracting, or expand. And when the volatility finally expands, goes negatively correlated. What happens to price? Straight down every time, right? Every time. And there's literally people out there that try to put forth just a narrative like what we teach at Alpha Trading is total BS. They're the ones that are total BS. Thank God we haven't heard anything out of those clowns lately. They're probably over stewing in their own juices, right? Stewing in their own juices, watching YouTube Jimmy, got their dick in one hand and who knows what in the other, I'm sure. Poor guys, none of them even trade. But yeah, it's a powerful indicator. We wanted to make this easier to use. And we've got another one that we were going to be able to have the other two correlations as well. I've stared at this thing long enough just by looking at what the 636 is doing and the correlation set on a 5. I could tell you, especially by what the candles look like or what kind of candle is building, what the other two correlations look like as well. So we're just trying to figure out the best way. And we're just probably going to have all the options. You'll just be able to turn off whatever you don't want to view. You can take off all the noise you want and break it down to just, if you just want the 636, all you got to do is just take off these other AVRs. Then you just got the 636 with its correlation. And if you want to make it easy, just switch the length to 981. And boom, you get the correlation for the 981. It's a lot easier way to learn. You know, someone like my crazy ass, I like to turn it all on because the APP is not volatility. Number one, the APP is price percentile. Price percentile. Where are you, boogers? Boop. And when all those different lengths, and they're the same as the volatility lengths, a 36, an 81, and a 400. When all those bottom out, when they all bottom out, as soon as that happens, I am paying attention. And what starts this move up? It's all random, number one. Look at the entropy. But what happens? Right when the APP starts to rise, you're getting contraction negatively correlated, right? Then what stifles that move and it goes sideways? Well, that contraction went positive, right? Then we had another little walk up while we were walking up again, contracting negatively correlated right here. It walks up a little bit more, and then boom, volatility expansion, positive correlation. We get to move up like $1,300. Beautiful thing. Damn, my nose itches. We got about 14 inches of snow last night in Carson City, Nevada. I woke up to an absolute shit show. I am not kidding. Crazy. Upper Mountain's insane. They got like major winter storm. So it's
Did
going to
you
be
make
good for all
snow
the
angels?
holiday.
Did you
Oh
make
yeah,
snow angels?
dude. My Anatolian Shepherd, right? It's just in his genes. I mean, he fucking saw the snow. went nuts. I let him loose out in just the regular part of the park. He ran he ran about 300 yards straight in one direction through the snow, flipping around in it. I got a wolf in my lap right now. But anyway, here's this price being resilient. Why? Because it's above that 1ST. Look, it just bounced right off of it again. But you got to be careful right here. There's no doubt about it. Got to be careful. You want to just watch this, especially the variance. It's down here hanging around low, right? What's going to happen when this variance takes off again? Is it going to be negatively correlated, positively correlated? Is it going to have an outlier, right? What is that outlier telling you? That there's a fat tail event in progress. That's all we give a shit about. And this is why we use this. And this is why predominantly we use Laplace distribution ranges, right? Because those fat tail events that happen in the markets, which crypto to be exact, there's hardly ever any in traditional markets. It just, very rarely is there a fat tail event. But in crypto, they're all the time, every day, nonstop. Bitcoin's a beast. So Laplace distribution contains that beast, right? Especially that 99.7 range. And I've showed it to you on projections time and time again. Hell, the 95.4, right, was containing it. But if this thing were to just take off right here, and I can give you a ton of examples where it'll take off, hit the 99.7 and just be like, and just head straight back down. Go sideways for a while, then dump out. Just powerful tool to have in your toolkit.
I think the big difference between what we do and what the other retail traders do that use traditional TA really comes down to we trade with high certainty, low uncertainty. Like traditional tools just have to constantly second guess and interpret their own tools. They're not even sure what their tools are really saying. They're like, well, if it's low like this, then it means it could be this or it could be that, but we're not really sure. It's always uncertain, right? Because they're guessing. They don't really know what they're doing, and it's not based on volatility, so it has nothing to do with what's actually happening. And with our tools, you don't have that kind of silly nonsense. You just have straight up, well-built math-based indicators that tell you very clearly, if you know how to read them, what is happening and what the probabilities and statistics and volatility say is likely to happen in the coming candle, basically. Which is a key difference between what we do and the rest of the stuff on YouTube Jimmy or whatever.
There you go. All right, guys, I'm doing a little drawing here. Hey, come on. Oh, that's why. Oh, there it is. All right.
Hats off
So
to
what do
our
we got
indicator
working
makers.
there?
They're amazing.
Oh, yeah. So after we get this major dump, right, on these daily candles, we got data sets that set up lower lows, right? Lower low, lower low. But every time, Z-score, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Every time, like we set that one. What happened on that daily? We got to move up 47 to about 51, right? Then boom, we got another pullback. Now, and why did we get this pullback, right? Yesterday. Well, got a higher high on the indicator, right? Lower high on the data sets up here on price action, hidden bear div. But now we get this bounce, right? We got another lower or higher low on the Z-score and another higher low on the returns oscillator. So of course today bumped again. Now, do we get another move like we did there, which was about 4K? That put us about 50. That put us about 50K. And the only thing that's going to do is create another lower high, right? Create another lower high. So yeah, interesting price action. Like I said, I'm a real, especially Bitcoin. I would rather trade these altcoins that are going to have bigger percentage moves intraday, right, to get my profits. But when you're talking about Bitcoin, I'm back over here, man. I'm waiting for this to resolve this projection. There's no doubt in my freaking mind this thing is not done. I don't care what anybody says. There's people going, oh, we're in a full blown bear market. It's like, you squirrel, you absolute knucklehead. That's when I bring this chart up.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Be like, when was our bear market? Bitcoin's never been bearish.
Put
We've
it
had
on
two red
log for a
candles.
second.
It's
Remove the log for a
ridiculous.
second.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, that's bearish.
Straight
Right?
up. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But people just yeah, what are you gonna do? Let's see here. Go back to the weekly. Yes. Oops. Two. What are you doing? Just reload it. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with right now. I'm waiting for this to resolve. Waiting for this to resolve before I get in any Bitcoin position, right? And I'm talking longer term, like the run that we're going to have at some point here, where Bitcoin, like I saw somebody, now it's like somebody was like dogging Plan B. Look, that stock to flow model has played out every damn time. But here's what I had to show somebody in another freaking Discord. People are just morons, man. People are absolute morons. I don't pull this up often. I look at it every once in a while to see what's Bitcoin doing. You can see its stock to flow line, right? Boom, 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 boom. Look at this thing is full, really flat all the way to about 2024, mid 2024, and then we get that another ratchet up to over $1 million, right? But people are just like, oh, Plan B's an idiot. Oh, he's a clown. He should be off YouTube and blah, 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 because we haven't hit the stock to flow yet. Dude, hello. You don't think this price action is going to get up here? Just look at price action over time. Flew past it, always came back stock to flow. Flew
Yeah,
past
it's
it, comes
completely
back.
asinine to think that just because you're
Yeah,
a little bit off the line. I mean, look at the
yeah,
history of it. You're always a little bit away from the line. It's a
yeah.
calculation of
And look at the exponential growth of Bitcoin. This is ridiculous. People what? People think all of a sudden, oh, fuck it, we're going back to a dime. I mean, come on, man. People are just out of their mind. They're idiots. They're either just getting into crypto or they
yeah,
just love trolling.
yeah.
So,
A lot of that.
um, it would not shock me at all to see Bitcoin at $100,000 in the next 2 weeks.
Mm.
Would I be surprised? Yeah, when Bitcoin moves like that, I would be surprised because I really think we're going to range in here. Let some shit settle down. But I'm telling you, in the next couple days or something, we start closing candles above this 68.3. Don't be shocked.
Yeah.
Don't be shocked that this thing makes the end of your run. Excuse me. Damn, I got the hiccups.
It's all those chili pineapple cereal or something.
I got to go to Trader Joe's. I'm out of all my goodies. Got a big egg and bacon sandwich, though. Oof. Stuffed myself. Let's see. So, yeah, I'm waiting for this to play out. Before I even start dealing with Bitcoin, I'm just watching this silly ass bastard run around because you never know what you're going to get with Bitcoin.
I
Never
mean, you're
going to
still good on the
know.
1 minute, bro.
Oh, yeah. Let's see here. And Bitcoin took a big, had a nice down move earlier. It wasn't super, but I mean, SPY I think was down at one point about $6, right? It was down almost 1.5%, I believe. It's at one point. Nasdaq was down like 400 points, but by the end of the day, right, it like came back 50% of the move. So Bitcoin decided to put the rocket booster on and jump up 1,400 bucks. 100%. No, it's not time, dog. Back off. Let's see here. So what's going to happen on the daily here? That's another thing. Look at the variance log MAs, right? Well, number one, look at the 9 length. It's broke through 3 of the other ones already. There's only the 144 left. It's been this whole time, it hasn't been able to get back above the 144. This is a powerful range right here. I don't use regular moving averages or regular moving average lengths. I use, everybody knows that's listening to me. I use a specific set of numbers because I believe in the power of these numbers, and they never let me down. I mean, you will see exact bounces and rejections off all these levels. And Bitcoin, number one, is going to have to get back up. We're going to have to turn these around. That's a 57K right now, and that's the 33. That's a powerful, powerful number right there to get by. So Bitcoin has got a lot of work to do to get this thing back. Number one, you're going to want to set a higher low or a higher high, right? From this move back up here before the dump. It's got a lot of work to do, man, before I have any faith of this thing breaking out of this range down here and getting out of this 68.3 range again, in between the mean and the top side. This is where I think this thing's going to range. But I'm ready for anything. If we shoot down here, we make a weekly 3SD move, and if we do not bounce, you better wake the F up, man. Could get ugly, could get real ugly, which is fine by me. Do you know what kind of entries you're going to be able to get on some of these lower cap like gaming tokens and shit? Bitcoin dumps down to 30 or something ridiculous like that. You're going to get some good entries. Good entries. Let's see
And meanwhile,
here.
you can really scalp. I mean, look at that. That's a really wide range on that one, that first distribution place.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's 10 it's
it's
10K.
that is very tradable range of possibilities if you just want to trade Bitcoin. I mean, for sure.
44 to 54 or something. Let me
Yeah,
see
it's
here
like
though.
it's not an unprofitable zone if you know how to trade this stuff.
And this is what I was showing the other day, right? I mean, we had bull div. We had bull div on the 2-day returns oscillator and price action, right? Lower lows there, right? Higher low. Right, we had this yet the previous 3-day candle, but this 3-day candle, where did it dump down to and find support perfectly to the dollar? That's the 144 length on this variance. Log return moving average. This is not exponential. This is not simple. This is a log return moving average. For everybody over in the clown show that might be watching this and thinks they know how to trade. Bunch of goof asses. Let's see here. And then we got the 3-day here. Same thing. Lower lows, higher lows. But look at this baby folding over, right? And it's damn near, it got really close to some hidden bear. That's what I wanted to see. Is there hidden bear on the 2-day? I believe so. And it's turning down. Yeah. Let me see real quick. Yep. So this is going to be interesting because what happens today? We get a new 2-day and a new 3-day candle, literally in about an hour and 11 minutes. We get a new 2-day and we get a new 3-day. So pay attention. You're going to want to see how this shapes up. The variance is turning up on the 3-day or on the 2-day. What's happening on the 3-day? Let's see here. Same time, I just saw DLP on both those time frames, though, building some bull div. Let's see here. And a lot of people see, you got to know what you're looking at here, volatility wise, right? Volatility is what's creating these candles. And this 3-day candle, kind of ugly. I mean, are you going to build back-to-back hangmans? That's fucking ugly. That's real ugly. That puts the ball firmly in the bear's court. If they want it, you're going to see this volatility. You see how this is turning positively correlated? If you continue to get contraction on this low length AVR, price action is going to continue to walk down. And you got this Gaussian mean. When we're talking about Gaussian means on high time frames, they're very powerful. So this thing could continue down. So then I'm looking at, where's the 1SD at? Oh, what do you know? Right about whoa, is that 43,345? So okay, 43,335. What's the mean at down here? Right about 44.4. The second standard deviation, 43.5. Second standard deviation on the weekly is right at about that first standard deviation band. Okay. They're within $150 of each other. Little confluence there. If this thing is going to dump down, who knows? Hell, maybe we're coming out of the pit. You never know with Bitcoin, right? You never know what these people are thinking. Is if good news comes tomorrow, they're going to keep this fucking money machine printing and just destroying the economy. So you're not destroying Bitcoin. That's what these people are just they're incredible. They are going to kill this stock market at some point. It's going to dump so hard. You can't just continue to print money out of thin air. And everybody's just like, it's great. It's like, no, it's really not great. Not at all. So on the 3-day, the variance is coming down, positively correlating, reinforcing the fact that this price action is going to continue to walk down. And those two 3-day candles in a row, that is a recipe for disaster, reading pure price action. And the 2-day candle, oof, ugh. That is not, people will be like, oh no, that's a bullish candle. And be like, no, it's actually not a bullish candle. They're called hangmans for a reason. And when you usually get a nice hangman, you get some downside. All right, I can show you so many different examples. Right? So many different examples, but we don't want to go into that because I don't trade candle patterns. I trade volatility, and volatility is what creates these. Right? So when I see this candle ending that way, and then I'm going to go over onto the volatility, and I'm seeing this is heading negatively correlated. If this volatility on the 2-day, it's only at a 92%. What if it expands to 100% negatively correlated?
Yeah.
You're going to see a dump. You're going to see a dump. And what's this 40K? First standard deviation band on the 2 days at 40. So be prepared. You never know. I mean, the correlation is still to the downside on the 2-day. We're not in trend by any means. It's all random. And there's bull div on both time frames on the DLP, right? That's a deviation log returns. It's log returns weighted with deviation. But I mean, we're gonna have to see what happens with these new 2 and 3-day candles. I don't think anything's gonna happen here anytime soon, to be honest, especially coming into Christmas and people wanting to sell. Usually the sell for taxes though is going to come into the new year because they don't want to sell before the end of this year, obviously, and that's just going to add on to the taxes they're going to owe. So I'm not really going to use I heard somebody else on YouTube talking about taxes. It's like we're not going to see any of that happen until January anyway, so don't even worry about that shit. People aren't selling because of taxes. The people that are selling Bitcoin right now are the inexperienced traders that probably bought at 70K, 65K. The total just imbeciles that are just like watching YouTube Jimmy for the first time. And YouTube Jimmy's like, this is what's going to happen. And they're like, oh, it's a no brainer. I'm going to mortgage my house and buy fucking Bitcoin with it. And then they sell it 50 or 48 or crazy, man. Wrong time to be selling, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Big time. If you were going to sell, you sell the top. You don't sell the bottom. This could be the bottom. What are you going to do? Sell here, and then the same damn person will buy right back in at probably, oh, wait, Bitcoin's now, because they don't know these distribution levels or these projection levels. And then, so they'll buy at 65, they'll sell at 50, then Bitcoin goes to 58, and they buy back in at 58, and then the thing dumps again. I mean, it's just a vicious cycle with these people. And then what do? They blame it on the market. They don't blame it on their dumbass. They blame it on the market. Like I was talking to some kid in another Discord, and he's like, "Oh, I bought it $12. Alex shilled this coin and blah blah blah." I'm like, "So you buy the initial pump of a coin almost at the top, and now you're blaming some YouTube dude for you buying." I was like, "You're the one you should be blaming, you moron." I didn't call him a moron, but made it pretty clear he was. It's like, learn how to trade, man. People don't want to learn how to trade, though. That's the biggest problem.
That's exactly the thing. The vast majority of people are not interested in learning how to trade. They're interested in signals and just nonsense and gimmicks and all these ridiculous, silly things that are pushed onto them. And I don't blame them for not knowing any better. I mean, it's an enormous system that pushes us onto
Thursday.
them. This whole, structured way of thinking wrong. And so, the few, the proud that find their way here, it's quite a good thing because they get to escape all that nonsense for sure.
So Thursday we get a new 5-day candle. And what I'm seeing here right now is the only thing the 5 day is doing is creating some hidden bear on the returns oscillator. There's obviously not going to be enough history. Oh, that's the futures. Knuckle buckle. Hold on. That'll
I
give
mean,
me my
think about all
entropy.
the silly videos people watch on YouTube, where these guys, make ridiculous statements about whatever they think is going to happen, just for the clicks and all that stuff. And look how often they're just vastly wrong. And then you look at like the amount of views they get, the amount of everything else that they get on their, on all that stuff on their videos, comments and all this nonsense, full of utter drivel, full of absolute ignorance, clearly posted by people who don't have a clue and are just looking for, grasping at straws, trying to find an answer. What should I do? Should I buy? Should I sell? I don't know what to do. I'm going to look for somebody that looks authoritative and go with whatever they say. And then you look at, our videos where we just literally show you what the indicators are telling you. And it's, if you know how to read it, you know what the probabilities are to the upside and what the probabilities are to the downside, and you go with what works for your trading strategy. And it's they're never wrong. Like they work, because math works. It doesn't fail. So I find that very telling of the sort of the culture of people who are looking for videos, and trying to find their way through crypto when the truth is out there, man. It's right here. It's kind of funny.
I've circled some stuff here on the 5 day. We closed 5 day candle on Thursday. Variance is coming down, positively correlated, creating some hidden bear right below the zero mean on the returns oscillator. The DLP has been descending since the first top, right? And actually set in some nice bear div to get this random. I'm going to explain. This was trend. This move up was trend. Now it's all random. Look at the correlation. Correlation is starting to move up hard to the downside. The historical volatility z-score is rolling over, heading down while it is starting to go positively correlated. Another thing that would show price action coming down. And I'm going to be watching this, because if this continues positively correlated through the candle close on Thursday and the low length AVR continues to contract, another thing saying more downside. So there's a lot of things that need to change in Bitcoin, 100%. This is all volatility tools. That's all this is. Oops. So this is what we go on. And it's time to fly. Not our time to fly, but it is time to fly. And if you're watching this on YouTube for the first time, we are Alpha Trading. Trade volatility, probabilities, and statistics. We love to teach people to do the same. The link to our Discord is in the description of all our videos. When you come in, follow the welcome message. Don't sit like a bump on the log. Open up a support ticket. Tell us what's on your mind. I don't even care if you want to talk about the weather. Say something. Come on in. We'll show you the way. We'll get you on the right track. You can join the pro account, which is $10 a month just to get into the Discord, and you get a basic alpha trading system to work with to get you started. Pretty easy to learn if you put some time in. And I want to thank everybody watching live in the Discord.
And there's a sale on
And
right now, through December 31st, by the way, on the sign up for the Pro Trader Access Pass.
right,
So
right.
yeah,
But obviously, you're not going to kind of want to come in and join that right away. But if you
right,
do, you got
right.
time, and we will. If you like what you see in the next couple of weeks, we can definitely get you that deal. And maybe it'll
Yeah,
run a little overtime. We'll see.
yeah.
That being said, wherever you live at in the metaverse out here, with all these crazy NFT projects, Have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening. We'll see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. See you guys.